warning you I must succeed. Nationwide rockers make the world stampede. Yo, Willie, make we roll some man charge. Now I must proceed. Yo, we about to make moves, set speed. Beast to make me fight Q-tip, Ali Shahid. Watch me out like Apollo Creed. Body, making you just feed off dynamic flows and take heed. Need more information, homeboy, than just read. Hey, you can read all about the pure breed. You need over, that's my duty and my seed. When I step up in the place, and yo, I step correct. I got you all in check. I got that head nod that make you your neck. I got you all in check. And you know we come through to wreck the discotheque. I got you all in check. Throw your hands up in the air and never disrespect. I got you all in check. How dare you ever try to step on my suede shoes? Top gun shut down your firm like Tom Cruise. Please let me get down and blow a fuse. Acting fool, breaking way down to molecules. Yo, let me get you with my ill street blues. Bust the rhymes, always headlines, the street news. Hey, baby girl, don't be confused. Sell my 7 seats and enjoy my boat cruise. I know you really wanna know who's coming through, leaving residues. Sorry, homeboy, but your flow sound used. Got to pay your dues, baby, you know the rules. Whenever I travel the world, I land cruise. If you choose to, how you get. Now I got you on super unleaded fuels. Give me room, give me some space, your excuse. When I step up in the place, then yo, I step correct. But I got you all in check. I got that head nod that make you your neck. But I got you all in check. And you know we come through to wreck the discotheque. But I got you all in check. Throw your hands up in the air and never disrespect. But I got you all in check.
You're now rocking with the best. Flip mode is the squid dog. Bust the rhymes, break it down like this.
EA Sports and the National Football League welcome you to Acrisure Stadium here in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Washington Commanders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tirico and Greg Olson with you, the veteran Chris Boswell, getting things started. Off we go from Pittsburgh. And he'll manage to get this back only to about the 20-yard line.
Jump. Come on. Hit. 60 Eagles.
On play action. Right away, they're coming after him, and they get him. A sack on the opening snap of the game. The linebacker, Alex Highsmith, he's in for the sack. It's going to be a loss of 8 to begin the drive. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Daniel. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's exactly what every defense is trying to do in the passing game. They want to muddy up these windows, Mike. Make every throw as contested as possible. No separation, contact right at the catch point, and does a great job forcing the incomplete pass.
Check. Mustang 19. Steady.
3rd and long, and here's Daniels. Going up top, and that is incomplete. fourth down. On fourth down, here's Matt Ariza to punt, as he'll take this a yard or two into his own end zone. Taken at the 19. And they'll finally put it into this, but a great return to the other side of midfield. 37-yard line. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. First play, and May goes to the air. Now a screen set up for Johnson. Down to the 10. And he will not make it to the end zone, but he's down inside the 5-yard line. That is a big-time play for the Steelers. It's a gain of 34.
So it's man coverage, Mike. You have to keep track of who your responsibility is. And in this case, he just drops him. He's wide open. Short throws turn into long runs, and they're inside the red zone.
To the pylon, he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. It's his 3rd touchdown on the year. Two choices down there. Either work it up inside or use that speed to the edge. And Greggy's able to sneak it in for the touchdown.
Down here this close, Mike, there's a lot of bodies in there tight. So oftentimes, if you can get the back on the edge, they can rely on that speed, and that's exactly what we saw here. He wins the race to the pylon, and he's rewarded with 6 points.
Boswell now, following the touchdown, back out to kick this one off.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Grab 18, 19, Charger, 19, guys, go!
On 1st and 10, here's Daniels. That is intercepted. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown.
That's about as bad as it could possibly get. Mike, you're only one play into the drive. You're trying to establish a little early rhythm, get something going, and now you're jogging off the field watching your opponent celebrate in the end zone. So they're going to have to come back out here on offense pretty quickly, regroup, take a deep breath, and try to bounce back.
Boswell now, following the touchdown, back out to kick this one off. From the 6, here comes a return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Now it's the Arizona product, that is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He'll be stopped after a pickup of about 3. There to make the stop, the All-Pro T.J. Watt.
It's now 2nd and 6.
From the 31, here is 2nd down and 6. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. That one is brought in by Terry McClure. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield. They get 19 on that pass play. 1st down, Washington.
It's so early in the game, you have to be careful now as coaches and players that you don't find yourself trailing early and get out of your game plan. There is so much time left. Stick to what you've worked on all week. There's plenty of time to chip away and see if you can make this thing close come the 4th quarter.
The tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. Give him 10 more on that one. Just enough for another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
And these are the type of splash plays that can have an impact, especially as the game goes on. This offensive line has to do a better job to make sure that they have this protection shored up and that this isn't a sign of things to come.
And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
He's going to let this one go deep. It hangs up a bit too much. It's intercepted. Nice job there on that return. Gives them breathing room up past the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Off the bootleg. Here's May. A dive and a catch. Incredible. They get 11 and quickly pick up the first down.
Good for us Steelers. First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On play action, here's May. He'll swing this out to Johnson. Now inside the 25. And he will go all the way. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That's his second touchdown of the game. He's doubled his season output. He now has 4. Well, they get the running back out of the backfield, and Greg, we find him in the end zone, a touchdown pass.
Mike, we call those short throw, long run. It's every quarterback's dream. He's able to get the ball out of his hand to his intended target, and in this case, this guy, he does the rest.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now, following the touchdown, back out to kick this one off. He fields it at the 8. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start.
Come on. Hey. 70, Timber Wolf.
They'll go play action here with Daniel. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete. He was trying to hook up with Deebo Samuel that time. And that will lead to a second down.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
On second down, it's Daniel. To the outside, into the hands of McClure. 11 yards on the connection there. Good for a Commander's first down.
And it doesn't really matter who you put on him, Mike. When you want to play one-on-one man coverage against a receiver like this, there's not a whole lot else you can do. It's hard to put help over the top because the ball's being thrown out by the sidelines. I like playing in and out. I like playing zones. Somebody underneath, somebody over the top. Share the responsibility. But that's not what they're doing. That's straight man coverage. Quarterback sees the matchup. There's no question where the ball's going to go.
Commanders with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with first and 10. Daniels with a give to Krosky Merrick. This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap. Not this one. They stop him for no gain. We'll try again. It's second and 10. Throwing now. Daniel. That one complete to Jalen Lane. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
17 yards.
They pick up 17 through the air. First down, Washington.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Ready?
And the Washington first down.
Now Daniels. Out to his right. Now he'll run it.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his first and second reads, but what they fail to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
On second down, here's Krosky Merritt. He'll get this inside the 20, a nice run. They're in the red zone. It's first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
And that keeps them ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Daniels. Good work there defensively. Knocked it away, and that pass ball's incomplete. Ben Siddick was the intended receiver. And it's going to be 3rd down.
You know, it's hard to speculate, Mike. We sit up here and we try to just interpret and assume what's going on in the minds of the players and the minds of the coaches, but they seem to me to be a little bit rattled. All these negative plays have really started to pile up in the first half. He's got to settle down, have some more efficiency on these early downs, and get his offense into some sort of rhythm.
Let's go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles, go.
They'll indeed go. It's Daniels. And he'll take it on in. Jalen Lane. Touchdown, Washington.
You know, Mike, I think we're going to see a lot of this, and you know why? It's the new kickoff rule. So think about it. In the old days, you'd kick a field goal, you'd kick a touchback, and your opponent would have the ball on the 20. You didn't give up as much field position, but you only got 3 points. Nowadays, you go for 3 points and you kick a touchback. They get the ball on the 35. It's almost 30 yards of field position. You're just better off going for touchdowns when you get in here tight.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. And that kick goes out of bounds right away. And that is a big mistake because that ball's going to be marked beyond the 40-yard line. So the drive begins with a give to Johnson. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Working out of the gun. It's May. We'll look underneath here for Johnson. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. A gain of 11 on that one. That's a Steeler first down. Operating from the shotgun, it's May. He'll take a shot here for the end zone. A tick under 2 minutes until halftime. We'll come back to the Steel City after this. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. From out of the gun, here's May. A pass taken in by Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. 2nd time they've connected on the drive, and this one goes for 17 yards.
Big-time completion here as they try to get some points before the half. And remember, they're getting the ball back after the break, so they get a chance to double up possessions here if they're able to put a scoring drive together in the closing stages of this half.
And He'll be out of bounds as the first down completion nets about 3.
There's a lot of quarterbacks around the league that really struggle with this, Mike, but not this guy. A righty quarterback moving to his left. Your mechanics, your footwork, and your arm talent all have to align, and tell you what, he does it about as well as anybody around the league.
That one too far out in front to be brought in, and it's incomplete.
Here in the first half, we've seen nothing but connections from these two guys. I mean, they've come out completely on fire, so the defense finally gets a stop, and really the first time we've seen these guys be a little bit off.
Throwing on 3rd down is May. And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force 4th down. Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal.
A 39-yard attempt.
He'll bang that one through. It's good. And the Steelers can tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10.
Trap 60.
Daniels now going to look to throw. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game. Like, we just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
17 yards. First down, Washington.
Here's Daniels. As caught, that's Lane. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. A big play there for Washington. 31 yards.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
Fighting for the goal line. They're going to stop him just short, but he has picked up the first down.
Washington Commanders first down.
Come on.
And for the 3rd time in this first half, he's been intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kyle Duggar. Inside the 30. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Steelers.
You know, it always amazes me, Mike, that these guys have all this energy, that following a long return like that then they can get into these big, elaborate celebrations. But listen, I don't blame you. You're a defensive guy. You don't get the ball in your hands very often. When you score, man, you better make the most of it.
So, 1 half in the books. 2nd half coming up. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The 3rd quarter is underway. This is fielded inside the 5. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. They'll start this on the ground with Johnson. He'll take this ahead. It's a pickup of 3. It is Percy Butler to bring him down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 34-yard line.
from the 34-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Now May. That one's complete to the rookie wide receiver from Southern California. And he will score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That is 2nd TD catch of the season. And that is touchdown number 1 in the National Football League career of a guy, Greg, taken high in the draft, hoping for moments like that.
When you get drafted in the first round, Mike, let alone as a wide receiver, the expectation in the NFL today is that you need to come in and be an immediate impact player. Plays like this continue to build that relationship with the quarterback, and I think this guy's got a real bright future.
This one taken at the 7. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10.
Ready.
Start the drive with Krosky Merritt. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down.
He was brought down at the 26. On 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Let's go now. Ready.
From the shotgun, it's Daniel. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete. Here's 3rd and 7.
Go. Liking 18. Go.
They'll throw with Daniels. Now pass deep for McLaurin. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Commanders set to kick this one away. He'll punt for the 2nd time after hitting a beauty in his first effort. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. They'll go play action with May. He's going to air one out for Metcalf. That is brought in. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15. Down at the 12. It's 1st and 10.
And the Steelers 1st down.
Throwing now is May. Now a screen set up for Johnson. And he's got another one. Touchdown Steelers. A 3-touchdown game for him. That's now 5 on the year.
Like we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. The quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line.
Ready, set. Cougar 19. Ready.
Now Daniels throwing on 1st and 10. Room to run it past the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 37. A gain of 14. Good for a quick 1st down. Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Mike, the old adage, you run to set up the pass. This modern offense nowadays, we're starting to see that flipped upside down on its head. Typically, the success of the passing game is what allows teams to have success like this in the run game.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. Good for a Commanders first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Commanders first down.
Working out of the gun, it's Daniel. That's into the hands of Lane. He's got it. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
This one complete to Melton. And he's close to another first down. Brought down just shy of the marker.
Second and 2 at the Steelers' 15-yard line.
Come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Run over center. That's Krosky Merritt. And he'll take this down to the 2-yard line. But they are in business. First and goal coming up.
13 yards on the
A
play.
huge advantage to red zone offense is the ability to run the ball. In this case, I thought he was going to score. Takes it all the way down inside the 2. Sets up first and goal.
2 yards from 6 points. It is first down and goal.
Let's go.
It's the quarterback with the sneak. Looking to squeeze into a crease somewhere. Did not break the plane. They're going to mark him short.
On the jump.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Krosky Merritt, and he is not going to get to the goal line. In fact, he's even going to lose yards on that play. And now it is 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We'll line up at the 3-yard line again. They'll try to punch it in on 3rd and goal.
Broncos switch. Broncos.
They'll let the fullback try to push the pot. And this defense standing tall in the red zone. They stop him for no gain. And now it's 4th and goal.
Ready up. Hiking 18. Ready.
He'll go. Here's Daniels. And he's not going to get there. They stopped him at the goal line. It's a turnover on downs. And on this first down, it's Johnson. And the defense signaling safety here. The official says he made it out of the end zone, but not by much.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Hey, what's that?
Throwing on 2nd down. May. That's hard. Inside the 30. And he's going to take this one all the way. 98 yards. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. They continue to add points. Rick, very interesting here. They are just rolling up the score even though we're in the 4th.
No doubt, Mike. I mean, this offensive play caller has no let-up. I mean, he's going to see how many points can I put on this scoreboard before that clock runs out.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Now return coming from the 7. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. A run to begin the drive, and it's Krosky Merritt. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
A little surprising to see them keep the ball on the ground, especially given the situation, Mike. I mean, you're trailing. You haven't had a lot of success running the ball up until this point. They need chunk plays. They need to score, and they need to score fast.
Ready, go!
Throwing on 2nd down. Daniel. That is hard. A great connection there. They're going to bring it down inside the 35-yard line. A big play there for Washington. 47 yards.
Both pre-snap and post-snap. This is about as well done as you can do at the quarterback position. Get in and out of the right call, identifying the holes along the back end, and then the throw. You can't put it in a better spot. I mean, that's just a big-time play.
He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle, Krosky Merritt, and this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. And that is incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Panther 6, go, Reed, go.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. That is incomplete. They couldn't get the connection on 4th. Going to give the ball over on down. On this 1st down, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick 1st down.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it. You know it. And no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
On 1st down, right back to Johnson. And this time they are ready for him. Thrown for a loss. And it's 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2.
So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Off the play fake, it's May. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
It is 3rd and long.
Crazy. Five. It's crazy.
Here's May. And that is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
Here's Lane. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Sinnott, the man in motion. Daniels now on 1st down. And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Peyton Wilson. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
And that should be the final dagger in this one. I mean, barring something dramatic happening here, Mike, I just don't think there's enough time or possessions left in this game to pull off any sort of comeback.
To throw on 1st down is May. Quick throw, that's complete on the slant. And he will have the 1st down. Even with 3 timeouts on the other side, they're going to be able to run this baby all the way down. On the ground, it's Johnson. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
When you look throughout this game, Mike, I don't think there's even a debate. This defensive line has clearly won the battle at the line of scrimmage over this offensive line. And for an offense that wants the run game to be such a critical element to its plan, they've got to do a better job because there's nowhere to run. There's no holes for the back to find. And all these 0 or negative runs are putting them in some really bad spots.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Crazy. Crazy.
Operating from the shotgun, it's May. Here's a shot toward the end zone. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on 3rd down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up 4th down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6? I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
Down to the final few seconds of this one as the kick is away. This will be returned from the 6. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. On the give, Krosky Merritt. And he'll be brought down there, and that'll put a wrap on this one. Time has expired in this 4th quarter.